Hey sunshines, how are you doing today? Oh my god, sorry, it's a bit noisy here, but I'm using a microphone, so hopefully it's not too bad. So I've been in this lovely apartment, and oh my god, this is home away from home. If you're coming to Cotonou and you're looking for where to stay, in fact, you don't need to look for where to stay. I am recommending this place with my full chest. Okay, it's a bit pricey, but trust me, it's worth the price. It's called La Ville Saint Jean. I'm going to drop the name in the description box below and their contacts. I mean, this is not even a paid promotion. I just love the place. I just love that the staff, they are very good, they're so welcoming, they're so friendly, they're so helpful. So they're not paying me for this, but I'm just doing it for them because I really appreciate their service. Their service is top notch, so that's why I'm doing this. Okay, it's not like anything paid or anything, not at all. So this is my first time in a French speaking country. I'm in a country where you can't even understand anything and they can't understand you. I've been to countries where they speak English. I mean, okay, somewhere like Kenya, they speak Swahili, but at least they still speak English. So you're not lost. But coming here, I feel lost. Like if I go outside, I don't hear anything. Just a few French they taught me in school, and it's nothing. It's almost like nothing. You cannot really communicate effectively with that little knowledge. I mean, it is what it is. So, but coming here, the staff here, they have been so helpful. Like I went to the market to buy some things, and he went with me to help me buy those things so I can communicate better with the market women. Even when I went somewhere, he took me to the park, explained to the driver, oh, she's going here, she's going here, she's going here, and helps me with bargaining the prices and all of that. So I mean, it's not been so bad, but just know that if you're coming to Cotonou, it's a French speaking country, and yeah, you just need to have somebody that will help you translate what you're saying, or you can use Google Translator. But the issue I have with Google Translator is that I don't always get internet if I'm not in the house. Like if I'm not in the apartment, there is free Wi-Fi in the apartment, and when I'm not in the apartment, I lose my internet connection. So there's no way I can use Google Translator. So you see, it's a problem. Unless you're gonna get their SIM card and buy their data, which I didn't do because I'm not staying long here. I'm just staying for a few days, so I'm not staying long. So I didn't bother buying SIM card and all of that. So, but if you're gonna get SIM card and have internet connection, then Google Translator will be of help to you. All right. Yeah, so I told you guys I'm gonna gist you about my trip to Cotonou. Yeah, so I made an arrangement with a driver. We are supposed to meet somewhere. We had a meetup point where he would pick me up with alongside some other passengers. Okay, so and he said I should leave my house around 10. And then I asked him what time are we going to leave Nigeria to Cotonou. He said latest by 12:01 we should be leaving. Meanwhile, in my ticket it was written evening. So I know low key, you know how these drivers behave, how they do now, African time. So I'm like, okay, maybe this one to he said will leave might not really be one will leave, just to give me hope so I won't panic, right? But meanwhile, I saw evening on my ticket. So tell me why this man had to call me as early as 6 a.m. to tell me to start coming to the park, start coming to the meetup point. I'm like, how? You told me I should leave my house around 10. So why are you calling me by 6 a.m.? Because earlier, a day before then, I had my matriculation and I needed some time. I didn't like put some things together. So I'm like, okay, in the morning before 10 a.m., I can definitely do these things before leaving. So this man calls me by 6 a.m. to start coming to the meetup point. I'm like, oh God, that's not how things are done. We had a plan. He said I should leave my house around 10 a.m. and Cotonou. We'll leave for Cotonou around 12:01. So why are you calling me by 6 a.m. when I'm not even ready? And it's even a Sunday morning. That means I'm not going to church. It put me off balance. So I was now trying to look for how to meet up. Before 30 minutes, this man has called me. Are you on your way? Have you started coming? I'm like, okay, calm down. What is it? Plus, I've seen this man before. I got his number from the park. Not like he was a total stranger to me, okay? So it's not like somebody I didn't know. I didn't know him personally, but I've met him before. I took his number. I made these travel plans with him. So now I'm like, why are you calling me by this time to tell me to start coming to the park? That something came up, someone that is going to Ghana. You have someone going to Ghana that is joining us, so you want us to leave on time. Like, that's not how things are done. We had a plan. That shouldn't change our plan. But regardless, I didn't have a choice because definitely I need to travel, and to be honest, traveling early is better for me. But for the fact that you didn't tell me that we'll be leaving by that time is a problem, because if they told me that we're leaving by 6 a.m., I would have planned myself towards 6 a.m. Okay, so that already like made me devastated. I was not trying to rush. And the more frustrating part was that he calls me after every 30 minutes to ask me if I've left my house. If I was like, no, you can't call me by 6 a.m. and rushing me this way. I am not ready to leave my house now. I mean, I'm trying to, put some things together, and I don't want to forget anything on this trip. So just give me some time. I'm coming. So that was how, somehow I was able to leave my house around after 7 a.m. and I was supposed to meet this man at the pickup point. Before you know it, this man is asking me to come to Mautu in Lagos. I'm like, what's going on? Why are people like this? If you're not going to be straightforward with people, you don't just put up a plan or to make your service sound juicy when it's not what it is. We plan to meet somewhere that'll be more convenient for me, and you're asking me to start coming to Mautu. So that was how I didn't have a choice again. I started going to Mautu. I got to Mautu. I started calling this man, and his number, he was not picking his calls. I'm like, what the hell? I would have thought this man is a scammer if I didn't meet him where I met him, and I confirmed he's a driver that works there. I met this man around 2 months ago in the park. Made inquiries from him to know how much to travel to different countries, if I want to do road trips, and how much for personalized travel. So he said, yeah, he does personalized travel. Like if you don't want to travel with so many people, maybe few persons, so he can just pick you up from there, take you to the country, and even give you a tour. I needed someone that will pick me up from somewhere and bring me to my accommodation in Cotonou, because I didn't know anywhere. I didn't want to go to the park, enter a bus, and they would drop me at the park, and I was looking for means to come to my accommodation, right? So this man said he will pick me up from that pickup point and bring me to my accommodation. Okay, so that was the plan. So but if I had gone with other people in the park, the case would have been them dropping me somewhere in the park in Cotonou, then I'll find my way to my accommodation. But I needed a personalized service. But this man was not bridging the whole contract. Initially, when I asked him how much to Cotonou, he told me that it's 45,000 naira if he would pick me up and drop me at my accommodation. So I was like, it's a bit too much. Okay, so he now said, okay, he's going to collect 40,000 naira. And you guys, guess what? When I got to the park, Cotonou was 20,000 naira. And this man told me it's 30,000 naira, but he's going to collect 45,000 naira to bring me here. This man thinks he's so smart. First of all, he didn't pick me up from the place you're meant to pick me up. I had to come all the way to the park. And getting to the park, I found out that the amount he told me is not even the correct amount. He overcharged, like he charged me double of the amount of money. So I realized he doubled the fare. And guess what? This man was not the man that drove us. I don't know what happened, but it was just some stories. And then he said it was an immigration officer that was going to drive us because of blah, blah, blah stories. At this point, I'm like, what kind of trip is this? This was not what I planned for. It was not what I bargained for. So at the end of the day, we had somebody else drive us to Cotonou, and it was not so bad. Just that the man was not even friendly at all. And me, I don't like to feel unsafe. Okay. My second point of frustration We got to the border and this man transloaded us to another vehicle. You guys, this was not the plan. This man didn't take us to Cotonou. He had to transload us, even though I didn't have to pay again. So he just settled with the driver. So this is what I was avoiding. I didn't want to get to a park in Cotonou and start looking for how to come to my accommodation. Okay. So, and that was what he meant. Transloading me at the park means that the driver will have to bring me to a park in Cotonou and I'll figure out my way to my accommodation. But it's what it is. At that point, I was just so tired and frustrated about everything. And my prayer was, let me just get to where I'm going to safely, and that's it. So we stayed at the park for almost 2 hours, waiting for the vehicle to get filled up before we left. So we finally left and got to Cotonou around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. ish. And when I got to Cotonou, I then had to look for a bike. Definitely, language was a barrier. So I had to talk to somebody, a shop owner. Please, can I use your phone and call somebody? And so I took his phone, got the number of my accommodation, called them because they can't speak English, told them I'm so pleased. So the man took the phone from me and communicated with my host at my accommodation, and yeah, he gave him direction. So he then had to call a bike man for me, so the bike man were to drop me, and yeah, that was how I got here safely. Yeah, so I was so frustrated. I was so tired because this was not the plan at all. It was so crazy. Then, secondly, at the border, I was having double mind whether to change money there or not because I know somehow it might be more expensive changing money at the border, but I just needed some cash on me because at this point, this driver has disappointed me. He's not bringing me to my accommodation directly. I know that when they stop me in Cotonou, I have to figure out my way to my accommodation. And I didn't know how much that was going to cost me. So I needed to exchange some money at the border. So I met someone that changes money, asked him how much um for the exchange, and he says for $100 I'm going to get 55,000 sepa. So I had to negotiate with him. I asked him if I could get 56,000 sepa, and he agreed. But on a second thought, I'm like, let me still ask questions. Let me still check other shops. I know how much they are exchanging. You guys, guess what? People were exchanging for 610, 620. That means I'll be getting $100 for 62,000 cephas, and somebody was planning to give me 55,000 cephas. I'm like, why are people so untrustworthy? So this is my advice. If you're going to change money, make sure you check around, ask questions, and be sure before you go ahead. Okay? So that's it. That was how my trip went. It was such a frustrating journey, full of lessons. Like I'm like, you can't trust people. It's so hard to trust people. These days, the more you try to trust people, the more they show you reasons not to trust human beings. But what can we do? We just pray for days like this. Just pray against days like this and pray to God to help us meet good people. That was how my trip went. It was so frustrating, but I thank God for safety. I'm here in good hands, safe, sound, and glory be to God. Yeah, so this is it. This place gives you Morocco vibes, makes you feel like you're in Morocco. But no, this is Benin Republic. This is Cotonou. So the price ranges from 35,000 sefa, which is 85,000 naira per night. This for the least room in this place, 85,000 naira per night to 120,000 naira per night. Yeah, but trust me, it's worth every penny. I've already shown you guys my room in my last vlog, so yeah, just in case you want to see what the room looks like, please watch my last vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, share my video, and subscribe if you've not subscribed. Okay, see you in my next video. Ciao.